Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a long time since I've done anything with a face cam, so I figured I'd probably ought to do one. Just to let you guys know I'm still alive and I'm still making videos, if anybody is actually watching this. It's been a long week, and this is the first time I've actually done a face cam on top of some gameplay, and I didn't exactly record this one live, probably because my gear's sort of falling apart, and I have to replace a lot of that stuff. On top of that, I never really figured out how to put a live face cam on top of gameplay and stuff like that. Which that's all done in post-editing, so I have no excuse there, and I do apologize. As you guys can see, we're actually playing some Overwatch, and I haven't quite gotten the chance to play it in quite some time, so I figured this time around I might as well just try something new and then start using some different characters. This first one here does okay as Tracer. I'm still sort of learning the ropes of that one, and it's been an eventful week, actually. My marriage was on the 21st, and as you guys can see now, I am officially a married man. So sorry all you guys out there, I'm officially taken, so yeah, it's a bit late for me. And as you can see here, playing as Tracer, I kind of still have to learn which enemies are, I can go good against, and which ones are sort of my kryptonite, so to speak. But that's besides the point. So on the 21st, it was pretty interesting. We got up. We actually had to take a trip outside of town, and pick up a relative that was, well, what would it be, like the cousin of your wife. I don't know. I'll have to figure all that stuff out at another time. But, so we picked up her cousin, and then we came back into town, and then we actually had to go get her sister, who was the one that ordained us, our priest, pastor, however you want to say it, priestess. For those of you that are for, the alternative religions out there. I'm not religious in any way, so I'm not knocking anybody's religion, so as you were there for that.
Much better.
And it was pretty nice. The families were sort of freaking out because we were a little bit late to our own wedding, which that one was kind of funny, but traffic was pretty crazy, and we also had to pick up our cupcakes. No, we didn't do a traditional, 3-4 tier layer cake. We just did like cupcakes and stuff like that, and then called it that. So, but yeah, that was actually pretty nice. And bear with me here, I'm working off of the microphone off of the camera, so I'm still trying to figure out the good distance for recording and stuff like that there. So I do apologize about that. And surprisingly, it was pretty nerve-wracking, to say the least. I mean, we had been dating for 4 years, been living together for almost 2. Excuse me. But for some strange reason, when I was up there, saying my vows and all of that stuff, it was still pretty nerve-wracking. And I almost lost it and started crying up there, and then everybody else was crying too, but all in all, it went pretty good, and I am now a married man again. It's kind of nice. Nothing's really changed, though, surprisingly. I figured since we were living together, as long as we have, and we've been dating as long as we have, getting married is just sort of that next step for it, Our feelings towards each other haven't really changed or anything like that, and as stubborn as she is, and as sort of semi-stubborn as I am, we'll be able to take on the world. As you guys can see, I shaved my beard off. I figured, since we're married now, I can sort of start growing like a post-married man beard, and I can make it as bushy as all ever. But, yeah, that's the thought. Hopefully it does pretty good. And so that was pretty nice. And then after that, we actually ended up going down and staying in this sort of homey one-room cabin for our honeymoon. Since she had gotten sick and work had made her take off all of her vacation time because she was sick, which I don't understand how that's legally possible. We ended up only having like a 3-day honeymoon when we came back. However, since my work made me take all of my vacation at one point in time, I've actually got until next Monday until I have to come back. So hopefully I'll be able to throw up a bunch of videos this week and sort of make up for the lost time for all the videos I've been missing because of work and all of that stuff. So fingers crossed that everything goes pretty good. I'll probably do just a bunch of gameplay and then sort of have the face cam here as sort of a means for the vloggy and all of that stuff. So, yeah, as you can see here, we're trying our hand out at Tracer for really the first time, and we're not doing that bad. We're not going to do the player of the game, but we are doing okay. And as you can see, I popped her ultimate there, and we took out a couple of people. So that's pretty nice. Fishing was kind of slow where we went. We went down to Table Rock, or not Table Rock, Branson, Missouri. So it would have been Lake Taneycomo below the dam. And right now they're sort of having issues with the oxygen level in the river, and it's sort of turning the fish off. Now, the fish that they have there below the dam is actually going to be trout. And the thing about trout is they need a lot of oxygen, like a really oxygenated water to be able to function and for the bite to be on and all of that stuff. And since they're starting to deal with the oxygen level in the water, since we're this far into fall, the bite sort of turns off right now, which should be odd because the trout and the brown trout should be in spawning season about this time, so they should be hitting just about anything. But I guess that's how the river flows, right? And yeah, as you can see here, we did okay as Splice, and we actually made it up on the board. Now in this next game here, I figured I didn't really do a whole lot with Reaper, so I figured I'd give Reaper a try. We do okay with him, but there's some stuff about him that I'm still sort of figuring out. And there's the team choice screen.
Prepare to attack.
And originally through the first part of the game, I actually play as Reaper, and our team starts to fail a little bit. So then I switch over to Bjorn, and I figured I could sort of soften him up with his turrets. And for the first part, it works, and then we get to the end part of this level here, and then we just sort of lose it from there. I'd actually didn't quite... Like, I knew he could upgrade, or Bjorn could upgrade the turrets, I just didn't know how. And then, after this, and after I turn off the recording... Excuse me. Or after this here, I figure out that you actually hit the over arrow to get out his hammer, and then you smack on the turrets just like the engineer from Team Fortress. And then that actually lets you sort of update that. But yeah, no, here's some gameplay here. Honestly, I really didn't want to come back from my honeymoon, but I guess all good things have to come to an end sometimes, right? And fingers crossed for a long and happy marriage. I have no doubts that that's going to happen. And...
empty your mind. Focus on the task at hand.
But I don't know. I figure whatever the future throws at us, we'll be fine there.
5, 4, 3.
And as you can see, the game sort of starts off. And from what I know of Reaper, he's kind of one of the ones where you want to get behind everybody, or you want to flank them from the side. So starting out here, I was trying to find a good flanking route. The problem of it is with that map, it's kind of difficult at the start. And then once you get up here, you can kind of start flanking.
I'm on the objective. Come join me.
And then Roadhog pretty much took the brunt of that McCree there. So then I sort of helped pick them off with the Reaper. Now here, I jump in here, and I'm trying to take down this Reinhardt, except it didn't quite work. But no, outside of the gameplay, it's sort of interesting because it's it's a new kind of chapter in our life, you know, or in my life, because I never thought I would actually get married, you know. I always figured I'd die some miserable, alone person. But no, apparently it was my time, and I got me a wife, and now we're working on that. Oh yeah, here, Maeve sort of pops her, like, her ice shield thingy, and I'm sitting here working with that, but then Reinhardt sort of, like, ground pound stuns me, and then I just suddenly get killed from there. Which I didn't even know Reinhardt had a ground pound stun like that.
My ultimate is started.
Sorry guys, I haven't done a recording in a long time, so I'm kind of having to get back into the groove of it, and then figuring out stuff to say throughout the entire video. I think altogether this was probably about 17-20 minutes recording time, but we'll just have to see how the finished video comes out, which you guys will get to see that. Now here was pretty nice. I went into the room, dropped the one person, then popped my ultimate, and then I took out like another person there, which I kind of expected to do a lot better with this ultimate, with how close everybody was. But the team sort of backed me up here, and we managed to get the objective, and then we sort of move on from there. Now after this, I think it was either a Widowmaker or a Diva that I end up playing footsie with, and she ends up getting me in the end. Yeah, playing footsie with an armored mech probably isn't the best bet.
That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, and this is the part where I actually play footsie with Diva, and she ends up getting me in the end here, but it was fun. Now here I try and go down through here and then sneak up on her, but if I remember correctly, I think she like pulls her mech. Yeah, and after that I sort of phantom out of there, and then we end up fighting each other up here.
Repositioning.
Yeah, here, I couldn't understand that because I was going to try and teleport away, but somehow I ended up getting killed before I hit the button. Which, actually, I was sitting there hitting the button and nothing was happening. So, excuses, excuses, right, guys?
Move out.
Para reporting.
Yeah, and up here, after sitting there poking them a few times and trying to get rid of them, I eventually end up just switching over to Bajorn and chucking out turrets.
I'm not checking in.
That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
You better get out of the way.
Yeah, this was interesting. Apparently the way to counter the Reaper's ultimate is to just pop Diva's ultimate right there in front of him. You can't really move anywhere, and then you're just going to get like self-destructed it over there at the end anyways. Wow, I cannot talk. She shells by the seashore.
Move out.
The payload is halted.
Yeah, Reinhardt's stun there, I'm gonna say, is probably a little bit overpowered. Like, especially in the range of it. Because if you look, that extends way out past the, way out past, wow. I am sorry, it extends way out past the fence. Yeah, and here I finally just say enough and I switch over to Bjorn. And then I just start chucking down turrets. I've never really played as Bjorn before, I think maybe once or twice. But if you can set up a turret in a good spot there, his turrets can kind of do a lot of work there, which sort of helps out here with kind of a like an attack mode like this, because it keeps everybody focused on that and it softens them up, and your team can just sort of pick off the rest.
I've got you in my sights. Such potential. My turret.
30 seconds remaining.
There's no way out. Attack!
You're powered up. Get in there.
This will come in handy. My turret.
10 seconds.
Time's running out. Such potential.
Payload has reached the chip.
Let's move this hunk of junk. Let's get started. I foresee great things for you.
Yeah, and there I end up getting killed by Reaper.
I have big plans for you.
Yeah, and the game's actually going to end here pretty soon, I believe. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and end it here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you do like the videos, make sure you check out some of the other ones. I'll leave some descriptions in the, some links in the description below. There you go. Make sure you check out the channel. I'll leave that link in there as well. Make sure you drop that like button and go ahead and leave a comment. So, with that being said, thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay safe out there. Oh, and we got a few more seconds left, so... Oh yeah, and then here's where I actually figure out that I actually have to use the hammer, and I hit the turns and it upgrades them, but by that point it's sort of a little bit too late in the game, and we're gonna lose it. Anyways, so, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you liked it, check everything out. Leave a like button. Stay safe out there. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I will